day, everybody. My name is Scott Medina. Welcome to our YouTube channel. This is where we inspire you to be happy, to get work done. We're always around here with some amazing human beings. We were having a great conversation off camera. We might spill right into this, but let's get into the introductions today. We have my good friend, one of my favorite, Joey. How we doing?
Hey, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands, everybody.
I don't know why, but...
Because you said this channel is all about making people happy.
I looked over for a second when I was introducing you, and your shirt looks like you have it on backwards. I don't know why.
Oh, jeez, I was worried for a sec.
But really, it does, because it's blue on one side and black on the other.
Yeah, blue.
Yeah, but I had the moment for you that it was on backwards, but I think you're okay. You look great today, Joey. We have our great friend, oh my gosh, irreplaceable, amazing human being who comes in digitally every week. Dwayne, all the way from the SIP. Lily thought it was going to be her, but we got Dwayne. I'm doing it out of order just because I want to be different. How you doing, Dwayne?
It's definitely...
Oh, no, we can't hear you.
Oh,
there we go.
Is.
Winning.
Yeah.
It's us. We had you muted.
It was us, not you.
I threw everybody for a loop there, Dwayne, to introduce you so early on and not go straight. We're saving the last one.
Yeah.
One might say.
Conversations definitely overflowing into this.
We're saving. One would say I thought I was going to save the best for last, but that we could never pick favorites around here who the best is. However, it is probably one of the most comical people I do know unintentionally. She says things that she just doesn't. She just says it with so much confidence is what makes it so funny. She believes every word that comes out of her mouth, which makes it enjoyable to hear what's going to come out of her mouth. She once upon a time said that a marsupial was a lizard. That is not even close to the truth, but however it was. The other night we were sitting around reminiscing of a week of camp. It was phenomenal. And she spotted some things with so much confidence that everyone in the environment, the vicinity, was like, that's real, true. And then all of a sudden reality kicked in and going, that's not at all, because she says it so well with so much confidence. The one and only Lily, she's thinking about getting married on Friday. Those were her words, by the way. She can't even... Are you going to say good morning, or are you just going to giggle?
Hi, everyone. I'm certain I'm getting married on Friday.
Oh, well, like 5 minutes ago.
I can't stop thinking about it. Duh.
5 minutes ago. 5 minutes ago, did she not say, I'm thinking about getting married on Friday?
No, I said
I'm going to get married, I think.
I think I'm
she
get
did,
married
but
on
I don't
Friday.
think that's what she was really meaning.
No, I was meaning it in the sense of, like, I think I'm going to get Starbucks before work tomorrow morning. I was just being silly. Who's texting us?
I don't know. What is that thing in my...
Okay. I have no... Oh, I know what it is. I can help our tech issue here.
Woo!
Go to the iMessage. No, and unlog me. I logged in it the other day so I could share the link to someone. So go log out of iMessage and that will stop.
The amount of grief I could give you for this, just like when I said I think I'm going to get married. But you know what? I think I won't.
Yeah, let's hear the
Let's
introduction to Scott.
Let's hear this
I won't
grief.
give you any grief.
What's the
about
grief
it.
you're going to give me?
What would
I'd like
love
to hear
require?
this. No, let's hear this. Let's hear. Go for it.
I'm constantly trying to filter my life through what would love require.
You know, this is passive aggressive. It's disturbing. I'd like to hear this though. What grief were you going to give me for logging in, trying to get the work done?
I'm not good at giving grief like you are.
Oh my goodness! What do you think about this, Dwayne? You're the referee. How do you feel about this situation that's at hand, at foot, right now?
At foot?
Yeah, you never heard that term?
Is Dwayne here?
Did we lose Dwayne?
Dwayne, we need you.
Yep.
Dwayne, have you ever heard?
We desperately need you today, Dwayne.
Dwayne, have you ever heard that the term like disaster is at foot?
At foot.
I think that's the way it goes.
Right? Yeah, I think Sherlock Holmes says it a lot, like the game's afoot.
Yeah, come on.
Oh,
see?
afoot. That's a word. That's a different word.
That's what I'm saying. I'm using it like that.
One word.
It's
not two words. It's one word.
What?
Oh, I can't hear.
Afoot.
I can't help the way you process things. Afoot. The game is afoot. Dwayne. Are we in trouble this morning?
That's what you said.
Yes.
I think you said at foot.
I don't know. Definitely not. Definitely not.
We're not in trouble. Joey thinks we are, though. He's in the room. He's saying we're in trouble.
I'm at the point of like this.
Before we went live, Joey looked lost with a capital L. You looked like, what?
You know, I think I'm always lost because there was a text. We had a summer camp this week.
We did?
And I was yeah.
We did, and we had some.
And I was
highlights we
walking.
were
I was walking around at one point, and I must have been like going like this or something, because one of the Texans. Hey, are you looking for something? Are you trying to find someone? Like, no, just walking.
Joey.
That was funny.
I'm always lost.
You're walking
not
like you're
always
lost.
lost.
That's so. No. You.
Lost in conversation.
Yeah, but the great
But
thing
that-
is when you are found, like when you find your spot, it's great. It's like it's
Yeah,
so.
it's like a.
Light bulb goes off, and everyone just celebrates that. Joey was once lost and blind, and
Now
now
I'm
he's
found.
Woo! Celebrate it. It's good.
That's right.
Thanks for being in the chat today, everybody that's in there. So cool to see the names in there. We got Jenny Adams. We got Jennifer Woodham. We got Dwayne Runs.
That's Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Sometimes she logs in. Oh, they switched phones today because we were having technical difficulties.
He's here.
He's here, though. We got, did I say Nick Orlando already? We got Katie in here. It's a good bunch of people sitting in the chat.
It's gonna be a great day.
This is going to be a great day. We're going to talk about the ant.
The ant. I have a few. Ellen, Beth. The ant? Your face. You should see the way he's looking at me. Are you okay? Are you okay?
What was my face?
It was like this.
No, I was just letting you roll. I was just letting you go with your...
It's so funny watching Joey watch
your
us.
aunt.
Joey's
just
just like a
come on.
little kid. Like,
Has anyone?
What's he gonna say? What's he gonna say?
Yeah. Is he
What's
gonna?
she gonna say?
Yeah, that's the question. What does Scott jump on, and what does he let just hit the floor? Sometimes not jumping on it is the loudest thing to.
It's thoroughly
say.
entertaining to watch Joey watch it.
Okay, so Joey, have you ever had an ant farm growing up?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You
I
did?
made. Well, no. I made ant. And what's an ant farm?
Well, yeah.
I made
yeah.
I made
I'm
forts for
confused.
ants with rocks. Is that an ant farm?
No. So let me understand this. You
That's
put
kinda
rocks
cool, Joey.
together and.
I've watched ants go in and move around. I'm like, I made a house for them.
Oh yeah.
so
I wonder if that's
nice.
what they felt like. What you made.
Yeah, they probably thought.
Because I've never. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Great. You're a great.
I've
human.
seen an ant farm.
I have now. We've moved to. Yes, I've made one too. I've seen an ant farm. These are very different. Okay, so
Wait,
online, I'd like to know if you've ever had an ant farm. I think they're intriguing. When I
I've
go to
never
a
had
zoo,
one. If
I've never
anyone
had
was
one.
wondering.
Yeah. I wasn't wondering because but
You just knew I didn't have an ant farm.
Well, I've seen your reaction just to a bug in general. Like you kind of lose your, like you have this swagger about you. You're like, you're Miss CrossFit. You're okay getting dirty and sweaty. But when it comes to insects, you turn into a bit of a pan.
Pretty much every living thing except for humans.
Yeah.
She touched a mouse.
Yeah, that's because of Cameron. Cameron has the power of persuasion for so many.
Yeah,
Except for you, Joey.
Sometimes you just gotta get
I
brave.
can't.
Joey can't touch mice, can't touch fish.
Yeah, you're worse than me. But anyway, so ant farms.
There's no way you had an ant farm. I just want to know, has anyone
I didn't
ever,
have
that
an
are
ant
watching today ever had an ant farm? I've seen them only in the zoo. They do seem intriguing to have. I don't know if do you feed your own ants? Like they live in this glass deal and you get to watch them. You know what I'm talking about, Joey?
Yeah, I do. I remember seeing one. I don't. There's like a lot of tunnels.
But they make the tunnels.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting. This could be a project as
Yeah, we
I'm
should
thinking
get
this
one
through.
for our future office.
Yeah.
We should.
No,
we
Joey?
should make a wall. We should make
you
one
a whole wall
That
of
would be
it.
cool.
That'd be
cool.
sick.
If it like, and we got to do a little research on this. Do you have to feed these ants, or does it somehow they do it themselves? Like, do I have to water them?
We're on this topic for a reason, which is really great.
I don't know, but that is a cool idea, Lily.
A wall
Thanks, Joey.
of it's right up
You're
there.
welcome.
What's cooler though? I mean, that's pretty cool.
Or-
But a fish tank. Did you just spit on your chin?
Those are both cool.
Spit
Maybe
on the
a fish
mic
tank
and it went
wall
back to
and
my
an
chin.
ant wall.
A
It
fish.
would be cool, yeah.
Both.
Both would be cool.
Like one on each.
Okay.
The deck table's losing it.
Why are they
Get
losing
off of me. I'm not talking.
Oh, is it sometimes legend just gets caught into the whole conversation?
I think Legend likes to torture me.
Okay, no one's jumping on the ant farm thing.
Yeah,
so
no one.
apparently
So-
no one has ant farm stuff.
Time to go.
Yeah, we're moving
Move
on. We are talking about ants today.
We
though.
are. There's purpose in this.
We are going to talk about, and so King Solomon talks about ants. You can go to Proverbs chapter 6, and you can get there. He talks a lot about the ant. The ants are pretty sweet little creatures, unless there's a huge delay in what we're talking about today. Like, if there's a delay in what we're saying, then we could see it.
What
trickling.
happens if the wall of ants breaks the ants and the ants escape? Well,
Depends
I
what
hadn't
ants we put in
considered
there.
that, Dan.
Yeah,
I
you
thought it
throw
would
crap
be-
at me all the time.
I thought it would be a glass wall that was unbreakable. So I'm gonna reconsider it, and we'll get back to you.
Yeah, Lily. It doesn't need to be unbreakable. It just needs to be lily-proof.
Yeah, that.
Lily-proof. Well, speaking of lily-proof things, did you break anything at camp this week that you'd like to admit on camera?
I got hurt twice. Right.
I'm not worried about you breaking
but
something.
to
You
me,
heal.
that's all in the same vein. But no, I didn't break anything that I know of.
Oh, good. Great
I
job.
know.
Who won?
I prayed about it before. Seriously, I break a lot
That
of
was
things.
a successful camp right there.
Yeah.
She does.
I agree.
Never on you though, but she was being a little dainty this week. She started on camera or off camera. I didn't get sunburned this year because I put sunblock on. But why did you do that?
Because I'm getting married on
Because you're
Friday.
thinking about getting married on Friday.
No, because I'm actively going to be getting married in a dress on Friday.
Actively. I
can't
did
wait.
point out.
I'm very excited.
I did point out what was it, yesterday or the day before? Because she was on about, I didn't get any sun. I was like, have you looked at your back yet? Like, it's this massive tan line that is like, what are you gonna do about that?
Nothing.
You're just gonna have this tan line
Yep.
on your wedding day?
Yep. We're choosing our battles.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, this would be a good wedding.
Lesson from the ant, Proverbs 6.
Yeah, we're gonna get there. Okay,
Cool.
first for those that helped, some of the names in here in the chat helped at summer camp. Some of you, you were watching online some of the videos and stuff. It was such a spectacular camp. One for the memory books. I think every one of them is. We had a great team from Texas.
It really was good, though.
We had
It was
a
amazing.
crew from North Carolina come in to help us do it. We had the average was around 150 people. That's leaders and kids. I think 130 kids. Minimum was our smallest day out there, which was so cool. It was 90-some degrees, so in Minnesota, that's pretty hot. I know Dwayne in the SIP, that's like put on a parka kind of weather.
90's hot.
90's
Okay,
hot.
where you at?
Okay, thank you. Some reality. It
That's
was hot.
nice.
It was hot, but man, they came out, Dwayne. It was a good 5 days. It was really cool. One of the bigger things for us, like in that, is how many people found Jesus. How many, when we gave the moment for people to make Jesus a personal Lord and Savior, because that's what we're into in this channel in our lives. And 56, 57,
58.
58.
58 is the final
58
number.
Kids gave their life to Christ this week. And think about that. That's almost half.
Yeah.
Half the camp.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It's so
mean,
amazing.
It's just cool. Like I'm stoked on that, and so we're really amped on that. That means these kids, their life is going to be going in a different direction because of that moment, and so pretty stoked. Some hearts are going out on, and rightfully so. I mean, it should be a clap in your house. You should be like, wow. The song and verses in the scriptures talk about being lost and found, blind and can see. That's what happened for those 56 kids. Think about the divine hope they now have inside their lives, that when they walk through life, as they get adults, they'll have hope that they will have put their trust in. Mm-hmm. It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. So we have a video that we put together of pictures that we thought it would be fun for you to just kind of go down, just see what your church does or did. I mean, this is for ages of what, Lil?
4 through 12.
4 through 12, and we have high school, middle school can't come in soon, but this is just a glimpse of what took place this week. You know, there's so much happening in this massive park. There's no way you could possibly cover it all, and this slideshow is going to give you just a glimpse of what took place. Pay attention to how many people are smiling in pictures, and just watch all the pictures, enjoy the music, and we'll be right back after this because we want you to see what took place at Unlock Summer Camp. It was awesome. One for the memory books, folks. Check this out right here. We'll be right back.
Is anybody excited about Jesus tonight? your feet, 'cause you're the only one I need. I turn to you and you are always there. Troubled times, it is you I sing. I put you first, that's all I need. I humble all I am and talk to you. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could. Here we go. You were always there, and every how and everywhere. Grace abounds so deeply within me. You would never ever change. Yesterday, today, the same. Forever to forever means the way. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. Jesus, is there anybody here who believes that? Me too. Come on, you sing. You're the way. You are the way, the truth, and the life. We live by faith and not by sight. For you, we're living on for you. You're the way. Yeah, we're living on for you. 'Cause you are the way, go. You are the way, truth, and life. We live by faith and not by sight. For you, yeah, we're living on for you. You are the way, you are the way, truth, and life. We live by faith and not by sight. For you, we're living on for you. Sing one way. You're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. We live for you, Lord. Come on, make a shout of praise tonight.
Oh man, that is so good. I mean, I was typing away. I got lost in the chat there. Nick's saying he likes the music to that. I love that. That is United Live. They have albums that are not live, but that's the iHeart Revolution album. It's a ton of energy. And so if you want to go listen to it, we picked the song because, man, for us, it was like one way. That was the whole point of camp, is pointing them to the one way of making it through life. And again, I got to put this on the back end of it only because I'm not looking to pick a fight. In our opinion, right? Like, I get it as my opinion, but it also has a lot of proof, a lot of merit in what I'm saying. But this is one of those things in life, if you're brand new around here on this channel, you have to experience yourself. I can tell you that, but you have to experience it. A relationship with Jesus is not an exemption from pain and the struggles of life. But what it is my hope is that it's only a season. I don't get to choose how long that season is, but I understand that throughout, though it is a season. Now that season could be the rest of my living life. But when my life ends, I will be standing face to face with Jesus, and my life will have had purpose, and my pain would have purpose. The thing with being in a relationship with Jesus is that with Jesus, the pain does have purpose. Without Jesus, sometimes your pain is just, there's no purpose in it. Sometimes we miss the lesson inside the pain. Oftentimes we just want the pain over. And I've learned this as I pursue athletic endeavors and stuff. to accomplish something great, or to grow muscles, or to get faster, pain is involved. It just is. You cannot have success, you cannot have growth without pain. And sometimes God allows the pain to enter our lives. Emotional pain, physical pain, relationship pain, working pain, all those things to teach us something that ultimately is better for us on the other side of it. We just get stuck in the minutia of it and we can't get past it. And that's what the enemy wants us to do, is stuck in the minutia of pain. Why? How can I get out of this faster, instead of turning around quickly and go, God, what do you want me to learn in this season? What are you teaching me? What are you teaching me? If we would just have that quick flip, what are you teaching me? We'd start to see so much, and then we go, God is going to use this. We would run to those verses that are promises to you and I, that he takes all the things that we go through and turns them into good. Now, I want to break that one down. Can somebody look that up?
It's Romans 8:28.
Yeah, because we talked about it last week or something.
Yeah.
But I want to kind of expound on this. This is nothing. This is not Proverbs 6. This is just we're
We're gonna stay right here.
we're just talking about it. When Paul's writing this, he's trying to teach us things Jesus has said. God uses the good, all things, and uses it for good. You and I selfishly immediately think it's for you and me. So then we process like death of something, a family member, a friend, a job, a relationship, those deaths that seem permanent and forever. We're going, how is there good coming out of that? How is the loss of my friend or my father, or how is there good found in that? And we think that all good is just for you and me. Like it's a selfish tilt on it, or a vantage point is selfish. How's this good for me? And it doesn't mean it's good always for you and me. It just means that God's going to, what was our word this week at camp? Redemption. He's going to redeem that death, that end of something. He's going to redeem it for good, but it could be for someone else.
It could be generations later.
It could be. It's just so many things that we just look at the good now, but there's no defined time period or length of time that good's going to come about. It's not I do put in, the next day I get back. It's not that kind of system, but it's that trust in that is truth. The relationship with Jesus, and maybe we got to just clarify this for all of us, that faith in Jesus, you don't need to have, I just will believe ignorantly in Jesus to become a follower of Jesus. No, you need to get the facts. You need to get the information. If you want a great book, I've been recently reading it, and I'm like 8 chapters in, and I think I got to go back and start it over. It's so packed with so much good stuff. A Case for Christ. It's this journalist who was set out to disprove scientifically that Jesus didn't exist. That was made up. So he takes all of the different conspiracy theories out there of how it all was created to make some people believe. And he writes this book as he does the research. He starts to find real hard facts. Undeniable information going, okay, well, that's truth. Okay, I can't argue that. Like, one of the things about the Bible, like, I hear it all the time. When I was flying out to California last week or 2 weeks ago, I'm in the plane and somebody's like just chatting about how the Bible's not real. Like, it's made up. It's how could it be accurate? How could it be all these things? And they're just going on about it. I go, oh. So I flipped them on that, because they're like, there's not enough resources to say the Bible's real. And it's like, that's not true. There are documentations that validate the scriptures being real, and that they're not made up, and they're not like Joey and I sit down and write together. Like, it validates everything we know about the scriptures, and the amount of paperwork stacked up paperwork wise would go taller than the floor in your house or apartment to the ceiling. Proof, reality. Okay, but do you remember the book, Dwayne? Do they still read? Is it Iliad? What's the book?
The Iliad and the Odyssey.
In the Odyssey.
Yeah.
Homer, yeah. Okay. Do they still? Is that still a required reading?
Some schools, depending on kind of the philosophy of the school. But
But-
yeah,
I
I know
never read
schools
it.
that do that.
Yeah, and that book is not in the fiction section.
It's
Correct.
not.
No, it's not.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
I don't even know that much about it.
Okay. It's an interesting read for sure. It's very interesting, but it's based on supposable facts
Of what?
of what took place in the book, the story that
Sure.
that it's real.
Okay.
But the information that we have for those two books is like, I think if I remember right, it's like only 10 documentations that would kind of validate that everything we use to say the Bible's not real and accurate and things of that nature, and you use that against that book series, it's like, well, you don't have enough proof to make that book real. But people argue only about the Bible and its validation and but the Odyssey and all those things are like, no, those are real. It's just interesting that it's not comparing the same way. I don't know how to say other than, man, the Bible's real, and that's why we were having a conversation. I brought that book up because somehow I was like, hey, do you like this? Oh, it's one of my favorites. I really love that history. I love that time period. I was like, it's interesting that you believe that book with very little proof that it is accurate and all of those things, and yet the Bible has so much documentation that would blow your mind. And then I just said it's willful blindness. You're unwilling to research what you believe. So I asked you at home, wherever you're at, the thoughts you have about a relationship with Jesus, even if you're a seasoned Christian or a Christ follower. Are you just willfully blind on that topic? Do you just believe it because grandma told you? Or because you think it's somewhere in the Bible? That's why I want to make sure we always go back to when we're quoting a verse, like, Lily, will you read that Romans verse really quick so everybody...
And we know that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose for them. Romans 8:28.
8:28. Like we're quoting it. This isn't something we made up. You can't go out, my pastor said, or Unlocked Church said. No. It's in the Bible. It's accurate, and they're helping us understand what Jesus was trying to teach when he walked this earth. And so that's all free information for all of you today. I don't know why I said all those things, but I hope that today you understand when we put our confidence in Jesus and the hope we talk about with these campers, we aren't just thinking it's a good thing. We know it is because of personal experience, but also we've done collectively research on, man, no, this is real. This is real life. This is accurate. And so the faith I was talking about at the beginning of becoming a follower of Jesus, no, get the facts. So it's not like a step of faith, right? It's stepping on it in the unknown, I don't know. That is activated. That is turned on when you become a follower of Jesus. Now you're trusting in things that you're like, well, I don't know how this works out. But by faith, I will walk through the storm. By faith, I believe that God will take the bad and work it for good for someone. That's the faith. That's where that ingredient in being a follower of Jesus, because being a follower of Jesus, there is a lot of that ingredient, this faith piece, and it's tested. We can willfully build this muscle, and we just can. One of the biggest areas that you can build more faith in God is your resources, is being faithful with your tithes and offering. If you struggle to give your tithes and offering, of course you're not going to trust Jesus in other things, for healing, for rescuing through emotional things, or job stuff, or your house is falling, whatever it is. Of course you're going to struggle to believe he's going to do what he says. You're going to struggle with all these other big, massively big concepts because you don't even trust him with the thing that is the simplest, where you get stronger.
It's literally transactional.
Yeah, it's like...
Can I read something?
Yeah.
Joey's
smiling. He's on it.
Light bulb. No, but this is so good. But I think it's important. I mean, what Scott's saying, and I talked about it a few weeks ago, but two things to remember in the storm is you are in the storm with his presence, and you're in the storm for his purpose. And Jesus talks about this in Mark chapter 4 when he calms the storm. And I think it's just what we're talking about. it just makes sense. So I'm going to read Mark chapter 4, verses 35 through 41. It says, "That day when evening came, he said to his disciples, 'Let us go over to the other side.'" And I think I'm going to stop right there. It's important that Jesus is the one saying, "Let's go over to the other side," and he's talking about the Sea of Galilee. And so, leaving the crowd behind, they took him along just as he was in the boat. There were also other boats with him. A furious squall came up, and the waves broke over the boat, so that it was nearly swamped. Jesus was in the stern, sleeping on a cushion. The disciples woke him and said to him, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" He got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, "Quiet, be still." Then the wind died down, and it was completely calm. He said to his disciples, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" They were terrified and asked each other, "Who is this? Even the wind and waves obey him." And so I mean, the disciples were going through a storm. Jesus allowed it to happen because he's the one that said, "Go to the other side." And obviously, but they didn't have the faith in that storm because Jesus was sleeping in the stern. But the who in the boat is more powerful than the what of the storm. And
That's
so
good.
it reminded me of that when you were talking about all that stuff. So
It's good, Joe.
I love that you bring that up because it triggers something else in me, Joey, as you're telling that story. Again, somebody needs to hear this today. And here's the truth on the storms and this faith muscle we're talking about is that we've all walked through them. This isn't, is it hyperbole that I'm thinking of, right? We're not, I think this will work. This isn't a hypothesis. This is not, I think so, maybe so. Mm-hmm. This is, I know so because we've all walked through it and come out on the other side. Now, it's tough to hear this stuff in the middle of the story, and I'm going to be real honest. And those that are listening, and Dwayne, they'll confirm. I'm in a storm. I'm in one of the longest storms of my life. Since February 25th, my birthday, started a storm, and it has not subsided. It has just been one after another. Joey asked me the other day, "How are you doing this?" He asked, "How are you affording all of this? Are you having to go into debt for all of this?" These are the questions, Joe, right?
yeah,
You laugh about it. He was asking about it at camp, right?
yeah.
Because it's a bit.
Well, yeah, it's like I knew. I was like, he's going through a storm. I'm like, how you doing it, man?
Yeah. Dwayne and his family, very kind of you, Dwayne. You guys, I don't know if, I think you know. You guys sent a card, just, hey, it was super kind, super loving, just encouraging. Hey, we know you're going through some things. It almost, I tell, like when Dwayne was up here a couple weeks ago, it feels like I'm making up the story. Because it's like, and then this happened, and we were talking about it a couple weeks ago. It's like a country song, and it's just not stopping. I mean, for those that don't know online, and you might have seen Holly's dad, Collins, got a bad report from an MRI, had to go to an emergency room immediately from the MRI. They found a tumor that was huge in his side of his head, and then had to have emergency brain surgery. We went down immediately. Holly's been down there for the last 2 weeks, helping him recover from the surgery and stuff. And there's just more information in that I don't need to share right now, that we're praying for a miracle. It's just what in the world's happening. And I drove my Jeep down there, which I just paid to get it fixed. And then Holly calls me in the middle of the camp. "You're never going to believe this. The Jeep is leaking fluid on the ground." And I was like, "What?" We just fixed that thing. We put $6,000 into that thing, and it's doing what? I couldn't even. I was like, "What?" I was just like, "Ah!" But I didn't postpone camp, and I still didn't think, "Oh no, God's forgotten about me," as this continues. The thoughts we're sharing today is by experience, and my answer to Joey was, when he's asking, "How are you getting through this?" I go, "Because Joey, I'm at 45, I've gone through the little storms in life and got through them and know he's faithful, and I know he'll be faithful, and so my faith is only increased because I've walked through other storms, and my faith has increased because I trust him with my resources, and if you can't trust him, and this isn't a financial thing today, you have a easy way to see, do you actually trust God? Are you giving 10% of your resources? And if you're going no, then you don't trust God fully. And you're disobedient. Your faith is exposed to you when you look at your resources and go, I give. That's it. That's how you know. And so we get through those things is not because I am stronger. It's because my faith is old. I'm an older guy, so my faith is older. I said, Joey, you've walked through some things. You've walked through these little battles. And so when you get to my age and you go through the bigger storms, you'll know you'll make it because you've walked through the storms before. Now, here's the cool bit to this. Dwayne, you have any thoughts to that? We haven't given you a chance to talk, and I'm talking real fast today. Mm-hmm. Any thoughts to add to that?
I mean, like, spot on. Like, I agree completely.
And again, Dwayne knows he's gone through storms as well. He's walked through things with his kids. I mean, you right? Think about this, right, Dwayne? We have kids. We only invite more storms we didn't even know we were inviting into our lives, right? Things that we have to walk through. Either it's the health of our children. And again, I just struggle with, if you're going to pray that God would heal your child, and this isn't me talking to Dwayne, I'm talking to all of us. We sit there and we want God to heal someone, or we need a miracle for something, yet we don't trust him with our resources. How does that even compute? If I was a computer and you put those two phrases in there and looking for me to make sense of it, I'd come back as if I was an AI program and go, this does not compute. Change the equation. You got to change it. If you keep failing in the storms, you gotta look at you. It isn't the storm that's crushing you. It's your hope is not in the right place. If you find yourself having to retreat by yourself to fix stuff like I can't let anybody know I'm struggling, you're doing it wrong. You got to fix this. You have to fix this. Now, the cool bit is I need somebody to find this. I was trying to find it as Joey's talking about the storm where Peter's in that boat, right? And he kind of loses his mind.
Yeah.
In Acts, Peter's in a boat again, but somebody find the story. I believe it's in Acts where Peter's in a storm, and their people are losing their minds. Do you know
the shipwreck?
And it's Peter, right?
Peter.
Okay, what's the story? Where is it found?
Acts 27.
Okay.
I see Paul's name. I just see Paul.
That's not Peter.
Maybe not. We need more help. I bet Jen will help us.
Jen, we're calling in you. And it might be where there's we know Peter's in the boat, but not been. You'd have to go back to that. It could be that one with Paul, and Peter could be in the boat with him.
I think that's what it is.
And here, it's a longer story. It's not like one little reference there. But there's a story in Acts where Peter's in a storm, and he doesn't lose his mind. He actually talks to those around him. He's like, chill out. What do we see there? He's still going through a storm. He wasn't exempt from feeling the fear and stuff. He had to learn from what he saw Jesus say and teach him. He learned. So when he went through the next storm, it wasn't that as big of a deal. The funny thing about the storms we walk through, there seems to always be a proof storm. Did you learn what you needed to learn? And that's not a theological thing. I'm kind of making it up a little bit, but it does always seem you walk through another storm that's similar just to prove to yourself, did you learn it? And so you're going through a storm and you're going through all those things, and I'm right there with you. Like, you don't want to be in the canoe with me right now, get in your own boat, okay? You don't want to go what we're going through. It's not that exciting. Things are constantly breaking at the moment. It's like we just are. It's like our kids can't ride one wheels around here. They just sit in one chair all day because that's a joke. We don't do that. We don't do that.
You know what it's making me think of, though? Like, in math class, remember all those practical application, like, worksheets? Like, you'd learn one concept and then you'd have to do like 10 worksheets on the same exact concept just to make sure that you knew how to do it right.
Right.
Like, it's actually the same thing. And I do mean to make it as simple as a math concept application, because storms suck, but if we treat it as I need to stay in this because I need to make sure I know how to walk through this with faith, that's knowing the concept. And I like how you said it's because I walk through the little storms with faith that I can walk through this one. Everything has a greater purpose. We just don't always see it in the moment. And
right. Yeah, it's so hard.
Think of a worksheet.
It's so hard to look through a storm. Think about any storm. Like, we're talking about storming. We're not talking about like a little bit of rain, a little bit of snow, and a little breeze. When it's like last night, we got monsooned here in Minnesota. Like, so much rain, it broke one of our trees. It didn't get that windy. One of our trees, because so much rain came down, it snapped one of the branches off. The flowers and all those things are over. They're laying over today because it was so much rain. It's a great way to test our newfound drain system in the basement. I'd like to report
it's going well.
the basement's dry.
Let's go.
Yeah,
that's such
Nice.
good news.
Yeah, that's good.
It is a good way to test it.
It was.
It's the only
It hadn't
way.
rained since we had it, so it's like, I wonder if it works. There's no water down there, so we're almost done with that
We're
project.
celebrating with you.
Yeah, thank you for celebrating. But those kind of storms, you can't see. You just can't see. I've been out on lakes before in storms like that, and you can't see land, and you lose your mind, and you lose your bearings, and you just what's going on? You got to hang on to something. That's the kind of stuff we're talking about here. We're not talking about, oh no, I almost didn't make it to the gas station. I was on E for a long time. No, that's not storms. That's bad planning. You know, sometimes the storms, we're not talking about things that like we did because we neglected something. Which takes me right into our topic, Proverbs 6. Let's go to it. Proverbs 6. Proverbs is written by King Solomon, the wisest man to ever live. He is a genius. He studied humans. Pretty much he's the guy that you would be at like the mall, and you'd look at some dude that's just staring at everybody and go, that guy's creepy. Creepy guy. King Solomon must have been that guy because he says he studied human nature, which is pretty cool to think about. So he just watched mankind. And then he was given the gift of wisdom, and he just started writing down these things he's learning over time about humanity and what we're going through. And so I want to, as I set that up, I'm going to talk about the ant here. Let's just take a moment to reflect on what we just talked about with the song Oceans. It fits as many storms are found in oceans, but one of my favorite. And to Nick, who's watching, this song is written by United Live, which there's the version on that album, I Heart Revolution. You can listen to it on there as well. It's been redone by so many different people because of the power in the words are so good. So if you're going through a storm and you're like, how can I? Man, I hope you take to heart what we just said there. Ask yourself, what is Jesus saying to you? What are you going to do about it? And we're going to come back after Oceans, and we're going to jump into a really fast conversation about ants and the application for us going through the summer. We'll be right back, and enjoy.
Call me out upon the waters, the great unknown, where feet may fail. And there I find you in the mystery, in oceans deep, my faith will stand. And I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul rests in your embrace. For I am yours, and you are mine. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would
Oh, man.
call
Let's pray really quick. Jesus, we just ask that you would take all the words we've shared and talked about and use it to teach us, to draw us closer to you, to become more like you. Those that are walking through a storm right now and they need encouragement, may they find encouragement today. Those that are looking to build their trust, may they take those steps to do that. And as we continue to speak on what are the necessary things we need to have, the qualities to fight through the storms, may we begin to develop those in our lives. Jesus, we love you. In your name, amen. Thank you so much for everybody that chimes in the chat and with the conversation throughout the week and all those things. We are grateful for your input, your conversation, all those things. Today we're going to Proverbs 6, one of my absolutely favorite stories in the Bible. It's so much so that it was my third tattoo ever. I got ants tattooed onto my bicep, my little bicep, and I'm only comparing my biceps to Lily, which they are ginormous, right?
No.
What?
No.
Okay. I think they are. Joey,
They could always be bigger.
I agree.
you agree? Yes. She works out on her bike, not on them, but with them. Okay, nonetheless. Proverbs 6:6 is where we want to get to, but we will read the beginning of it because the setup of it is quite important as we fade that music out in the background. Or we directly just shut it off there.
okay.
Just in my ears it
It's
did.
okay.
Oh, in my ears it was like boom.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I was like, dang, harsh, but that was only my headset, not for you. Sorry, Steven, to throw you under the bus like that. Because in my ears, Steven, that music is so loud I can't hear anybody.
When you fit, yeah. That's
And so I'm assuming
good.
online it's really pretty and soothing, but in my ear it was
great.
like, that's all I could hear. Okay. So Proverbs 6. My son, if you have put up security for your neighbor, if you have shaken hands and pledged for a stranger, you have been trapped by what you have said, ensnared by the words of your mouth. So do this, my son, to free yourself. So what? Okay, now all of a sudden he's just set up a conflict, Dwayne. What is the conflict? What are you imagining taking place here?
So I mean, it's a financial transaction. So if you put up a security for your neighbor, if you enter into agreement with a stranger, like the financial transaction.
A financial transaction. Something has put him in owing somebody something, right? That's what I got from all of that, right? My son, if you have put up security for your neighbor, which would be, I'm assuming when it's wrote like that, maybe we should read a different version. Maybe what's the message say, Lil? Do you have that version
It
today?
says, "Dear friend, if you've gone into hawk with your neighbor or locked yourself into a deal with a stranger, if
Okay, what's hawk?
Yeah, what?
I actually don't know.
Hawk. I think you need to say it like that's what I... Hawk. Hawkaloogie.
H-O-C.
That's what I think is like...
Hawkaloogie.
Yeah, but I don't think
A
that's
hawk
right.
is a
Don't tell me bird.
I mean, in my
This doesn't
Bible,
even make
like,
sense.
Okay, well, let's go to the Homer Simpson version.
so it says to put up security. So my version says, "My son, if you have put up security for your neighbor or enter into an agreement with a stranger." So the notes at the bottom says to put up security is to pledge oneself as a guarantee for another's debts.
Yes, there it is. It's the collateral. In our terms today, we would our down payment, right, or something like. But it's the a cosigner in a sense, but a collateral of like you can have this. Sometimes if you are taking a loan out, you can put the car on as like you can take my car if I don't pay it back. So like this dude's got themselves into a pickle. That's the bottom line. This guy's in a pickle. And so it's set up a conversation between a father and a son, it feels like, because it starts out with my son. Verse 3. So do this, my son, to free yourself, since you have fallen into your neighbor's hands. Go to the point of exhaustion and give your neighbor no rest. Allow no sleep for your eyes, no slumber for your eyelids. Free yourself like a gazelle from the hand of the hunter, like a bird from the snare of the fowler. I like that. I like the way it's all set up. It's like
It's written well,
okay,
like poetry.
if you're owing somebody something, a debtor or a neighbor, here's what you do. Now let's read that. Like, does this sound like on the health meter? Does it make you go, wait, this dad says go to the point of exhaustion. Do you think that's what he's meaning here, Joey or Dwayne? Do you think it's kill yourself to get out of this debt, this agreement?
From what I read, it kind of like, if I was just reading, it kind of sounds like that.
Now, this might be considered what you said earlier. It could be considered hyperbole,
Okay.
which is exaggeration in text. And so, like my version says, go put on a long face, act desperate, don't procrastinate. There's no time to lose. Like he's saying, get yourself out of this. And if you have context, like Scott shared earlier, King Solomon was a studier of people, and he saw that being in debt to someone or owing someone a great amount, it doesn't end up well. And so I just think it's like, do what you can as soon as you can.
Yeah,
to get out of it.
This is where a saying that I say a lot of times to myself, I don't know what to do, but I know what I can do.
Yeah.
Like in the season of life I'm going through, I don't know what to do. Like, right, you run to, how do I make it stop? Just make it stop. I don't know. But I know what I can do. And I just get to work. Just one thing at a time. I move one rock at a time. Just pick it up. Like literally right before Dwayne came, I moved a ridiculous amount of rocks, like big rocks, not like little teeny weeny rocks, like rocks that just as you do a lot, hundreds of them, it was tiring. Dwayne can testify to that. He can, right? Am I not? These were not little rocks, and there were a lot of them, right, Dwayne?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I'm moving them, and I don't actually know how to fix where the rocks came from quite yet, but I know that those rocks have got to get out of there. So I was just like, I'm going to move one rock at a time. Just one rock. I don't know what to do, but I know what I can do, and I'm going to do that one thing. And so to you in the season of life you're going through, get to work.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't, you can pray for the miracle. And again, and I pray for miracles for like on Collins' behalf, and I'm praying for a miracle. I mean, so many times in a day, I'm like, God, I know you can heal him, but will you? Your will be done, but what I'm asking, his healing. I want him around. I want him on the channel. I want him to continue to give us wisdom, godly wisdom. And it's like, God, if you don't intervene, that rope is burning rapidly the wrong direction for his life. It's like, no, extend it. I want a miracle. I need a miracle. Your will be done. And then it's like, why would you pray like that if God's will to be done? It should be what. Because I also go back to where there are stories in the Bible where I think it's Abraham comes like and has this conversation. In the prayer is just a conversation with God, and so it's the same thing. And he's just like, how about if I find one person, will you save the city? So we can change the heart of God by praying and have conversation. And sometimes that's the journey. And it is like God wants to change our heart as we have this conversation with him. And so it's like I'm praying for this constantly. But it is your will be done. I'm going to rest in that. But here's what I want. I know you can, but will you? That's what good faith is. I know you're capable of stopping the storm. It can cease. But will you? Will you? And then your will be done. It's like, I'm okay with the outcome. I'm okay in the fact that it won't rob me of my trust in Jesus. That God's an evil God, a spiteful God. I'm not going to go there. It's still trusting that God is sovereign. So many people try to get angry at God. That, oh, God, no. I can't get there. Like, I just don't see those qualities in God, that he's a vengeful God to people. And so what I read here at the beginning part is, you're in debt to somebody, don't just say, oh, poor is me, and just sit around. You go get a second job. Show that you're working towards trying to pay it off, or you're trying to make sure that they understand you're doing your best right now. Because so many times we get into storms and we just get paralyzed. I don't know what to do, and we stop doing it. Well, now you're doing nothing, and you're not slowly moving out of the storm. I don't know what to do, but I know what I can do. It's move one rock at a time. One rock at a time. When our basement was flooding, I didn't know how to stop it. It was just coming in like a river. Okay, I'm going to just pick up the floor one piece at a time. And I'm going to move it. And I'm going to dry it off. And I'm going to move the furniture one piece at a time. And then I'm going to dry it up. And then I'm going to make phone calls. And I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, God, I need a miracle now. And I might have prayed it like that. But I'm not waiting for the miracle. I'm still working. I'm actively moving in a direction. So may you write that. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to fix the overall problem, but I know what I can do. What can you do in your situation? The answer is nothing. The answer is not nothing. Sorry, it is not nothing. No. That is the storm blinding you. That's the storm winning. The other day when I told the kids that the Jeep had broke down in Illinois, the radiator had sprung a leak in it. And so all the radiator fluid was going out. And it's like, we couldn't drive it back from Illinois to here. And I told that to the kids. And Epic goes, Dad, you know, this is my 13-year-old. Is he 13? He's 13. Somebody tried to tell the other day, you don't know the age of your kids? I don't. I just know we start with them, and the goal is to end with them back in their beds. That's winning in our parenting, okay?
At the end of the day.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's good.
Me knowing their ages, they don't even know each other's ages. We just...
Yeah, that'd be confusing.
I don't know what to do, but I know what I can do.
Yeah, just keep them alive. That's the goal. Okay, nonetheless. So I told the story to the kids up here, and Epic goes, Dad, you know the season of life we're in right now? You know what it reminds me of? And so this is like wisdom from Epic. He goes, Dad, it reminds me from the movie Rocky. And anytime somebody quotes Rocky, I'm like, yeah, this is going to be good. Let's go, man. It's so good. He goes, it reminds me of what Rocky says. Man, in life, it's not about how hard you can hit. It's how hard you can take a hit and keep moving forward.
Nice,
Life's going to punch you, but you got to get back up and keep moving forward. I was like, that's right, man. And I said to him, I go, are we doing that? Have you seen us do it? He goes, yeah. He's like, we're doing it. We get knocked down sometimes, but we just get back up. We can take some punches, Dad, as a family. We can take hits, but we just keep moving forward. I go, how do you know that? He goes, because we still laugh. We're still smiling, even though we don't have a basement currently. And our house is very shrunk down, and just all the stories that I just can't share all of it on a public space like this. And he's going, we just keep moving forward, and we're laughing. And I just thought, man, okay. So they're seeing it. And it's not how awesome I am or how he is. It is things we read here. This dad is saying to his son, hey, get to work. You got yourself in a pickle. Get to work. Then he says, in Proverbs 6:6, this is where I really love this. He in Proverbs 6:6, he comes along and goes, go to the ant, you sluggard. I love that. He's like, you're the issue, bro. Go to the ant, you sluggard. Consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander, no overseer or ruler, yet it stores its provisions in summer and gathers its food at harvest. Again, do work. What are you waiting around for in your life? For somebody to come and tell you, That a boy. You got this. Go. No. It says there's no one telling these ants to go out there and store this stuff up. We got some pictures of ants because I'm a fan of ants. I think ants are fascinating. I'm one of those guys that unless it's in my house, I make sure they live. I like ants. I think that they're impressive. I think some of that's from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I mean, who wouldn't want to ride an ant? Joey, have you ever seen that movie?
What's it called?
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
No.
You've never
Oh
seen
my
that?
goodness.
It's a classic.
You need to sit down with your kids and watch Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. They will love it.
Okay.
Totally appropriate. Except for they're going to want to ride an ant. Like, because the kids are shrunk down
Sounds
smaller than an ant. And the ant, they ride it in the backyard.
Is there another ant movie? I know I've seen an ant movie.
Yeah,
Ant-Man?
is it Marvel, Ant-Man.
Maybe that's it. I don't know.
Yeah,
There's
Honey,
a
I Shrunk
Bug's
the Kids.
Life. A Bug's
Bug's
Life.
Life.
Is that what
Yeah, yes. You know what's
Okay,
interesting
so-
as we just talked about that Ant-Man and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Both movies are about people shrinking down, smaller than an ant.
Yeah.
To give you perspective, I guess, of how little they are.
Mm-hmm.
You need an ant. Like they can carry a ridiculous amount of weight for how small they are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Amazing.
Here we're gonna put a picture of an ant up, and we're gonna ask you, do you know what kind of ant it is? Okay, that's the quiz, real quick. What kind of ant do you see on the screen right now? What kind of ant is this? You have like a few seconds to guess, Joey. You can't really see, can you?
No,
you
but
can't see at all.
I saw the corner.
What do you think it is? Bullet ant or fire ant? I'll help you.
Fire ant.
Fire ant, he says. It is a fire ant. They're fascinating little creatures. Fascinating. South Florida is full of those things. Were you ever bitten by? Oh, right. You need some coffee there, yawning Lily?
Yeah, it's all gone. It's like when it goes away, it goes back to square one. Doesn't make any sense.
Oh, your body's like,
Yeah, there were a lot of fire ants growing up.
yeah, not here.
Yeah.
But in South Florida, they are a thing. And if you're not paying attention, Joey, and you're just standing still, they climb up your leg and start biting you. And they leave these little white welts. It looks like a pimple, but it's just from their venom inside your skin.
Sounds
Yeah.
like you should all move to Minnesota.
Yeah. Fire ants. One time our kids were playing in a park and they were playing on top of a big fire ant deal and they climbed up one of our cousin's entire body was covered with them.
Oh.
The remedy was in the park with heaps of people, had to strip him down naked
No.
Wow.
and get all the ants off him. It looked
Yeah,
like he
they're-
had mosquito bites all over his body.
Like dirt. So you have to be really careful when
Yeah.
you're playing.
Fire ants are crazy. The other cool ant is this ant here. What do you think this ant is? These are from the Amazon jungle. They use their faces and their little pinchers as sutures, stitches in the jungle. It's wild when I've been to the jungle and seen people with just a row of heads on a cut and stuff. You literally let them bite down and you break off their body and their little pinchers stay
crazy.
closed.
That's crazy.
It is. They call them bullet ants. Yeah, stitches.
So cool.
Bullet ants.
That's so cool.
I brought home a whole case of them. I can't find it. I was trying to bring it out here. A whole glass case of bullet ants because they are ginormous. They are the biggest ant out there. And I don't even like, you know how you see those flying ants and you think those are big?
Flying ants?
Yeah, like the queen ant. She's giant. No? Bullet ants are like 2.5 inches long and just ginormous.
That's big.
They call them bullet ants. It translates from Spanish to bullet ant because if you get bitten by a bullet ant, they say it feels like being shot by a bullet,
Wow.
a gun. That's why they're called bullet ants. They're ginormous. So those are ants. So consider the way of an ant. It has no commander, no overseer or ruler, yet it stores provision in the summer and gathers its food at harvest. It gets work done. Are you an individual? Am I an individual that, sorry about that battery being exhausted. It was like camp mode this week too.
It's tired.
But when you go to the ant and no one's telling it what to do, the deal is, it should be an inventory for us to look at our lives. Do you have to always be told what to do? Like back to the tithing thing. What do you need somebody to come in and tell you to start tithing, like and get in your face, or can you just lead yourself? I tell my kids all the time, you have to have a self kick system. You have to be able to kick yourself in your own butt. And then have you ever tried to see somebody kick themselves in the butt?
Yeah, butt kickers.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks hilarious. It's a good warm-up
Good,
exercise.
Yeah, good warm-up exercise.
It is, like, they have you do that. But, like, that's not, I'm talking about being able to say, nope, I'm going to get up and work out today.
Yeah.
This principle, this ant thing that we're talking about, when we get it in one area of our life, it overflows into the other areas into our life. So when and I'm not trying to get personal, but maybe I am. When I see somebody that can't be disciplined physically, and I'm not saying they got to run a marathon, but keeping themselves in some kind of condition, I know that they're not disciplined in many other areas in their life. If you can't get yourself up early or put down the slice of pizza because you've already had two, I know that in other areas, in other relationships, there's a lack of self-discipline. There's a lack of self-kick system. I'm not telling you you're a bad human because of it. What I'm trying to point out is that you got to fix it.
Yeah.
You have to fix it to see the results you want. This is that it's like a halfway point. Dwayne pointed out a couple weeks ago, we're halfway through the year. We did a Christmas Day the other day. What's today's date?
Today's June 25th.
So, yeah, we're exactly 6 months from Christmas today.
Perfect.
Perfect, which is almost, I mean, right, it's 31 days, right? So 6 days away from a new year. Halfway.
Crazy.
Are you tracking on your goals? There are 73 days in Minnesota. I'm using Minnesota school year. 73 days left.
Till school?
Till school starts.
Yeah. It's a Tuesday after Labor Day?
Yeah, in Minnesota. I know that, like in Illinois, they go back to school mid-August.
Before Labor Day?
Yeah. Why would you do that?
Why?
How about Mississippi? When do you start?
August 1st.
August 1st.
That's so early.
Well, hold on. When did you get out? May what?
24th?
Wow. Why is your school year so much longer?
It's still a short
I
summer.
don't know.
Because we got out like June 9th. June
They
10th.
must get more breaks down there or something. Because nationally, every school has to have the same amount of days, right?
I don't know if nationally they have to.
Oh, so
I think it varies by state.
Why does Mississippi? What's going on? Why in Mississippi do you need so many extra days? This is.
I mean,
Dwayne wants to make jokes.
There's a way.
Dwayne was gonna make jokes, but he can because he is from there. But we'll just leave it there because we're not looking to be offensive to anyone. But it's so you need to do the math. Can you, as an adult, because when school gets back, we tend to adjust our schedules back to some different system. So do the math. How many days do you have till school starts for your world where you're at? What are you going to do with those next days? So here in Minnesota, 73 days. What are you doing with them? How are you going to be better in the next 73 days before school starts? What are you going to start implementing today? Here's one of the worst enemies to doing this. I'll start tomorrow. And then you miss it tomorrow. Oh, it's Friday, so I'll wait till Monday. And you just never do it. And you justify all the reasons why. Oh, I'm busy, I'm this. No, those are excuses. They are not legitimate. They are not reasons. It's really, what it should show to you yourself is that you aren't disciplining yourself. You're not listening to yourself. You're not looking at Proverbs 6:6. Again, I don't know who I'm talking to today, so I'm going to be a little blunt here. When it says, go to the ant, you sluggard, that's you. That's me when I'm choosing to not do it. I'm not trying to be mean. And then the father, was that you,
That was
Dwayne?
Dwayne,
Yeah,
Okay,
that was
what-
me. I mean, you look at it. Go back to verse 1. I mean, it's talking about a father giving advice to the son about financial obligations, financial transactions, and it's okay. Like, I think there's important. Like, I think we have to distinguish that there's two types of storms. One type of storm you have no control over, that it's coming through, and like God can teach you through that storm. And the other storm is a self-inflicted storm where I feel like a lot of people in America, we kind of get ourselves into that situation where we enter into that financial transaction, and now it's okay. Hey, you got to get out of that. Like you've got to bulk up. You got to get to work. And again, like hopefully we're learning through that storm as well. We're learning,
Right.
okay, hey, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have done that, or maybe I should do things differently. So, definitely, to getting out of the storm, like you got to put in the work. If you created the storm, you've got to suffer a little bit to get out of it.
Yeah. But here's the truth with discipline, because this is a conversation on discipline. There's pain in discipline. You've got to pay. There is a price tag for discipline. And here's what it is. It's either you pay now with discipline or you pay later. So if I wanted to delay the payments, let's say health-wise, because I think when I read this, Dwayne and Joey and Lily, I think this is also when we are getting ourselves into physical debt, meaning we let our bodies go. I think when we get we didn't take care of our cars, our homes, whatever. These are all things we're making deals with that we are going into debt of, like, oh man, if I would have taken care of my car, it wouldn't be broke down. If I would have checked the oil, it would, right? All these things. I just have always read this going, okay, yes, he's using resources, an agreement, but we do this all the time in every area of our lives. And so, for the discipline to start disciplining ourselves to work out, to eat right, to sleep right, all those different things, when we start doing those things, if you decide to do it, yeah, it's painful at the beginning right now. There's a price up front for that kind of discipline. But if you say, I'm not going to do that, and you get overweight, you're cranky because you're not sleeping enough, all of a sudden, lack of discipline, you pay on the other side. You either decide to pay up front to discipline now, or you pay on the back end. And it's cost more on the back end than it does at the up front. When I ripped my lower abs from whatever they connect to, after a 20-mile run, I went and played a full game of soccer, and I kicked the ball into the net. And in my kick, I felt this excruciating pain. I've never felt it before. It's probably a lot like labor. I'm assuming it's just like, it's that painful.
Yeah.
I know what every woman has ever gone through in labor now because of that moment. And I'm just being funny there. I'm just trying to make all women sit up going, that guy, man. I don't really believe that. But it really hurt. And so I went into emergency surgery the next morning where they stitched my lower abs back on. So painful. And then I couldn't do anything for, like, it was 6 or 7 months. There was no sit-up action that I could do. I had to, like, literally roll out of bed because you forget how many times you do that action. Getting out of bed, you sit up. Well, most people do. If you're rolling out of bed, something wrong with you. You drank too much or something wrong with you. You should be sitting up, right? I couldn't do that. And so after 6 months, 7 months, they finally released me to start running and things of that nature. And that was the last time I remember feeling like legitimately out of shape, like out of wind. I went and played basketball and I was like, oh my gosh, this is what that feels like, because I had been so long at running and I enjoy that. I don't get winded by most things and I just enjoy that level of fitness. And in that moment in my life, I was like, I will never willingly be out of shape because I don't like that feeling. I don't like so I had to pay the price all over again. I had to work myself up to running a mile, 2 miles, and it was painful. I was sore. I all kinds of stuff were connected to that physical deal I had to do. Same with Dwayne as he's gotten in shape to run a marathon. Same as Lily has to do as she trains and keeps herself in shape for CrossFit things. And Joey working on what he works on.
Joey, you're great. He runs.
I ran yesterday.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was looking for.
He runs.
That's right. Dude coming right off the flu this week, and he's back at it.
I did. I literally had like this self-conversation in my head yesterday. I'm like, I'm tired. I don't want to run. I need to work out. I'm going. I did it. I got up and did it.
Nice, Joey.
All right, Joey, I'm going to put a challenge in front of you right
Oh
now in
my
front of everyone and
Here we
Dwayne
go.
here.
Here we go.
What
here
is it?
we
The
go.
challenge that's been a challenge for the last 5 years?
Don't hate it. Don't hate the player. Hate the game.
All right, what's the
What's
challenge?
the challenge?
Sign up and run a stinking marathon.
Yeah, Joey, what are you waiting for?
Dwayne, what's the date of the Air Force marathon?
Ooh,
September what?
September 16th.
September
You
16th.
got that.
Is that enough time?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can train with me. And you and I
boy.
will go
Look
out
at-
there
put
and
it
run
on
with
Joey,
Joey.
put it on
Or
Joey, put it on
we'll go
Joey.
out there and run with Dwayne.
Buddy.
Okay.
He said okay. You heard it, Dwayne, right?
Joey.
I heard it.
Joey.
It was a weak one.
Joey. Joey.
So that means you're going to have to work out your what's going on with school and stuff. Because it's a Saturday. The race is a Saturday
Where?
This is Saturday.
in Ohio.
Okay.
I'll get you there.
September.
September.
Yeah.
Woo. This is exciting.
You're not coaching
September
football.
what? I'm not coaching
16th.
football.
16th.
Yeah,
He can't come with good reason not to do it.
okay.
Think about it. You're going to have a reason to
That's so
you're going to
great.
have a reason
How
to
fun.
fight through. And the reason I even put that in front of you, you got to have a goal. If you don't have a goal,
All right.
it's going to be really hard to stay fit and stuff. So you got to make your own goals.
Yeah,
The-
and a big commitment like that helps.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you can set a goal right now by the end of summer to walk every day. But if you set a goal of, like, I want to walk 20 miles on August 26th or whatever, like, you have to work to that.
And hey, this is an invite to anyone online. If you want to come race the Air Force Museum in Dayton, Ohio, it's September 16th. I didn't ask Dwayne if I could do this, but I'm just doing it, Dwayne. I'm so sorry.
No.
We're going to make it a party out there. Dwayne's got a goal of running
Hey.
50 marathons by 50.
Yeah. I mean, like you can make yourself, goals, or you can be around people that's going to challenge you and set goals for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well said.
Who are you surrounding yourself with?
Yeah. If you're all just lazy people, of course you're going to be lazy. But anyways,
This is exciting.
exciting for Joey. Joey now has, this is so good. I'm stoked.
Let's go.
Joey.
I mean, it's going to be painful. You know that because it's less than
We can
18
suffer
weeks.
together, Joey.
Yeah.
All right.
It's going to be less than 18 weeks. Typically, it's 18 weeks that you have to do to get in shape
But
for
you're
it.
already running. How much
You're
are you
already
running?
running.
How much
I'm
are you
running.
running when you go?
I ran probably 2.5, 3 miles yesterday.
Yeah, that's good. I'm just
No,
messing.
you got it. You got it. It's gonna
You
be
got
so
this.
great.
We won't let you fail. And I'll run it with you.
All right.
I'll get you across the finish line. I like that. I've kind of changed my goals. I train and then I. Okay,
Hey,
I want
maybe
to.
Jordan can join us. He said he wants to run a marathon with us.
Boom! We're gonna get a herd of people. Think how fit you're gonna go back into school this year. See, you have 73 days, and you've just put something on there to change your 73, bro. 73. Joey, you can't
already
even see
sweating,
that.
guys.
Woo! Okay, but listen. This is how we're gonna land it. This is Proverbs 6:9. How long will you lie there, you sluggard? When will you get up from your sleep? A little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come on you like a thief. Like, I just love that principle. It's like, hey, if you don't sign up for the marathon, you'll never do it. Like, I really, again, in my own life, I try not to say I'm going to learn a new language, right? It's like I hear people say all the time, oh, I want to learn a new language. I want to run a marathon. I want to do this. No, you don't. Because if you were, you would actively be pursuing it. Like, I know that's so mean for me to say, but no. Don't give me the reasons why you can't do it right now. They're excuses. If you really want to do it, you're actively pursuing it. Don't go, I got 8 kids, so I can't. No, my kids are never an anchor. They're an excuse to give a reason that somebody go, oh, that's a good reason. It's not. Be the person people are inspired by to go after their goals. Okay, that's the talk today.
This is good stuff.
I hope you enjoyed it today. Lily, Joey, Dwayne, thanks for hanging with us.
Thanks for being you.
Being me. Meh, meh, meh. Okay. If you want to, again, going back to the early conversation about trusting Jesus and taking the step, we make it really easy around here. Nice that I didn't attach it there because it's not about getting your money here. But we do make it easy for you guys to tithe an offering where you can test your trust for Jesus. It is, and we make it really simple. The number is 77977 and text the word unlock. in the text group, and then you'll get a text back, and you can set up automated giving. Says this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to trust 10%, not 8%, 10% of what I make. I'm giving back, and it's like God doesn't need His money back. Did you catch how I said it?
Yeah.
It's not your money. He gave it to you and said, I want to entrust you with my money. So He's asking, like, I'm giving this to you. It's like me giving you fries and then asking for 2 fries. You're going to be like, sure, they were yours anyways. You gave them to me, so of course I'll give you back 2 French fries. It's not that hard. But somehow in money, we think it's all ours when it's His, and He's just saying, hey, I gave it to you, but will you give me back 10% of it? It's just a whole kind of switching it. So thank you for those that do that. We have middle school, high school camp coming up. We're really stoked on that. That is July 17th. It's going to be a week to never forget. It is, again, on the topic today, no quit, all fight, one winner. It's going to be a fabulous week. We know that we have some people flying in, their kids coming in for it. It's going to be a week to remember, that's for sure. And then we have small groups kicking off in the fall. We have a few other things that are happening. The other big news, I mean, this is probably, like, you'll probably see it in all the magazines when you go shopping and stuff, you know, like all those tabloids and stuff. It's Lily and Jordan's wedding. Paparazzi will be flying helicopters around, getting pictures
you'll be flying a drone.
It'll be awesome. Paparazzi will be hiding behind trees, taking pictures. It's
that
great.
Will be you flying a drone.
I'm not paparazzi, but nonetheless, yeah, I got a lot of jobs. I'm stressed out by this, guys. Just it's overwhelming. I'm the photographer, videographer,
The
the guy.
officiant, you have the cleanup crew.
Okay.
See you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, this is it, Lily. The next time you see her, she'll no longer be single.
See you in 2 weeks.
How do you feel about that?
I'm excited.
Where are you going for your honeymoon?
I don't want your spotlight. I'm going to Puerto Vallarta.
No, we.
Sorry.
It's no longer I anymore. It's we.
Joey's face. But you just said, where are you going? So that's why
It
I
was
said
a test.
I'm.
It was a test.
I failed.
Yep. You know Dwayne was back in the background smiling at that. He's like, oh, he got her. Dwayne, have a fabulous Sunday.
Bye, Dwayne.
You're a good man.
Hey,
we
Dwayne.
love you.
Bye,
Everyone
guys.
else at home, we love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging with us. We'll see you next Sunday without a Lily. Maybe we'll show a picture or two. Bye, everybody. Have a great
Bye.
day.
Yeah.
Bye.